Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be ranking 12 farming sims on the Nintendo Switch. For each of these games, I'm going to be ranking them based on how much fun I personally had with them. As we're going through the different games, I'll also tell you what could potentially move the game up or down a tier based on your own preferences. So let's jump right into it with Harvestella. Now, if you watched my last video about hidden gems on the Nintendo Switch, it probably shouldn't be any surprise to you that I'm putting Harvestella right into the S category. Now, this game is really beautiful, there's amazing characters, an amazing storyline, you get to run your own farm, and there's a fun battle system. So in my opinion, it's very easy for me to put Harvestella in the S category. This particular game, if you're highly against combat in farming sims, then it's definitely going to go down a couple tiers. But if you like farming and you also like action RPGs, then this game is definitely an S title. If you have never played Harvestella, I definitely recommend downloading the demo and giving it a try. Next, we're going to be talking about the 3 Harvest Moon titles, and the first Harvest Moon title to be released on Nintendo Switch was A Light of Hope. Now, this game, it's not amazing, but yeah, it's not really that bad either, so I'm going to be putting it in the C category. Now, for me, C category games, they're games that are okay or good, but they don't really do anything super special that I would recommend them over other titles. Harvest Moon, Light of Hope, it's a good game, but I definitely wouldn't say that it's a great game. The basic mechanics are very fun, but yeah, there are some problems such as the graphics, and some of the music gets a little bit annoying, so that definitely prevents it from being B tier. The second Harvest Moon title to be released was Harvest Moon One World, and this game, it took a lot of new concepts and it tried to do a lot of things, but unfortunately it didn't really accomplish everything that it wanted to accomplish, so I have to put this game in the D category. I'm actually a little bit more of a fan of One World than I feel like most other content creators. However, I still find it hard to recommend Harvest Moon One World over almost any of the other titles in this list. There is one game that I like a little bit less than One World, but yeah, we'll talk about that more in a minute. And the final Harvest Moon title that was released on the Nintendo Switch was Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos. Now, Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos was a huge jump forward for the series. It's a lot of fun. You can explore an open world, you can farm, you can meet a lot of interesting characters, the graphics are great, and yeah, I had a ton of fun playing Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos. So I'm going to be putting it into the A category. I'm putting it in A because it does have a few slight problems. If you've watched all my other videos about Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos, then you'll know that I don't really like how lots of things are hidden behind the storyline. You can't get married until you've completed the whole storyline. You can't access some of the DLC until you've completed the whole storyline, and you can't use the DLC outfit until you've completed the storyline of the main game and the DLC storyline. This title, if you are not a fan of open worlds, then yeah, you're going to put this one down a category or two, but if you're okay with open worlds, then this is definitely an A tier game. The next game on our list is Gleaner Heights. Now, this game, it markets itself as a darker Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do anything better than Stardew Valley. I actually got this game because I was really interested to see a lot of the unique cutscenes that maybe were more darker. But yeah, the cutscenes, they're very difficult to unlock. The gameplay is really difficult and, in my opinion, highly unfun. So yeah, I have to put Gleaner Heights in the D category. Honestly, with this game, I loved the idea behind it, but once I started playing the game, honestly, nothing about this game stuck out to me. And I'd rather play any other game on this list over Gleaner Heights. And it's funny because I really wanted to see a lot of the cutscenes and unlock a lot of the different things in the game, but yeah, every time I tried to play this game, there were just unfun elements that just got in the way, so I ended up just giving up on this game. So it's very easy for me to put this game in D tier. The next title is Littlewood. Littlewood is a game that also surprised me with how good it was. This game, it's a lot of fun. I actually just recently started playing it when I was making my last video, and it's really easy to get sucked into this game because everything that you do, it builds upon itself, and you get to unlock more new things. You get to get more people to move to your town. You get to increase all of your abilities. This game's just a lot of fun, and I really recommend it to everyone, especially since you can get this game at such a low price. So if you've never heard of Littlewood, Littlewood or you're on the fence about Littlewood, I would definitely say go for it. The next game on our list is Paleo Pines. Now, Paleo Pines is a farming sim with dinosaurs. Now, I know that sounds really cool, and I had really high expectations going into this game, but yeah, it didn't quite meet my expectations, so this game is going straight into the C category. This game, it does have farming, but it's a little bit on the basic side. You can customize your farm area, but yeah, you can't really customize your house. This game, the main focus is on ranching and raising animals, so if you like ranching and raising animals, I would say maybe you could bump this game up one tier. But yeah, for me personally, I'm more a fan of the dating aspects of games and the town building aspects and, also customizing my farm and doing things like that. But yeah, this game didn't really do it for me personally. Also, the Switch port is a little bit rough. I think this game looks a lot better on PC, and when you're playing the game, I don't know, for me the controls, it kind of felt like it was more set up for a PC, and then when I was playing it on Switch, it just didn't quite flow very well. So if you do want to get this game, I wouldn't recommend getting the Switch version, I'd recommend getting it on PC. The next game on our list is Fae Farm. Now, Fae Farm is a farming sim with magic elements. Of almost all the games on the list, I think in terms of graphics and style, Fae Farm might be one of the best. However, this is also a title that for me personally, I was a little bit disappointed in. I went in with kind of high expectations because a lot of content creators, they really hyped this game up for me, and so I was really excited to play this game, and initially, I also kind of liked it, but the more I played it, the more I didn't like it. I especially didn't like going to the second and third mines, where you have to constantly craft certain potions, otherwise your health is going to constantly go down, and yeah, I was like, okay, I'm trying to play a cozy game to relax, I don't want to have to do all this planning just to go mining. And yeah, the storyline is hidden behind this, so yeah, I really wanted to like Fae Farm more than I ended up liking it. So I'm putting Fae Farm in the C category. If you're someone who really likes adventure and you're someone who really likes customization, then you can maybe bump it up one. Also, Fae Farm is the one title on this list that I think has the most potential to move up. This game is constantly getting patches, and there's going to be 2 DLC waves that if you got the Switch version, you're going to get for free. So this game definitely has potential to move up a tier or two, but as it is right now, I think it should go in C tier. Next, we're going to be talking about the 3 Story of Seasons games. The first one we're going to talk about is Pioneers of Olivetown. Now, I feel like me personally, I like Pioneers of Olivetown more than the average person, but just a little bit more. Pioneers of Olivetown, it's a game that tried new things, and it maybe only half succeeded. The makers are really annoying, and they take up a lot of space on your farm, but the core gameplay of this game is quite good. But a lot of the other aspects of this game, it's the same. Like, the characters in the town, they're kind of cool initially, but yeah, not many of them have much depth to them. I like that there's a lot of areas to explore, and there's a lot of different places you can go to. However, I hate that they are all located on their own separate screens, and to get to each different place, you have to go through a long loading screen. So yeah, for me, Pioneers of Olivetown is a game that it should have been a lot better than it ended up being, if that makes sense to you. This game, kind of like all of the Story of Seasons games on the Nintendo Switch, it has some good elements and it has some bad elements. So I'm going to be putting it in the B tier. The next Story of Seasons game we're going to talk about is Friends of Mineral Town. Now, Friends of Mineral Town also has some good positives and some things that I don't really like all that much. Now, Friends of Mineral Town, it has some amazing characters, and you get to see some beautiful artwork as you're playing the game, so the game definitely has that going for it. For me, personally, I don't really like the end game aspects where you have to pay the sprites to work on your farm and then do things like that. For me, I really loved this game up until the point where I got married, and then after I got married, I just got really bored with this game very quickly. Also, this game has a few rival events, but it does not have rival marriages. So yeah, I think in some ways this game is inferior to the original Friends of Mineral Town, which makes me a bit sad. So on the whole, I think Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town, it's a good game, but it definitely could have been better. So I'm going to be putting it in the B category. And the last Story of Seasons game on our list is Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life. Now, if you've been with my channel for a long time, you'll know that I was super hyped to play Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life, and I think that the graphics are really good, the core gameplay is good, and I love that this is a unique title that focuses on your family and your family getting older. However, I was slightly disappointed with a few aspects of this game as well. I wish there were just a few more things to do throughout the day because, yeah, it's really easy to get a little bit bored once you do the stuff on your farm and then you go socialize. So year one of this game, I had a blast. And then I was also excited at the beginning of each new year to see how things had changed. But yeah, some of the years for me personally dragged on a little bit. So yeah, of all the titles on this list, the game that I feel like could be improved by DLC the most is this title. I feel like this game is just missing a little bit of content to really take it to that next level. If this game had a DLC pass that included another marriage candidate and maybe an activity or two that you could do throughout the day, then I think this title could easily move up into A tier. But yeah, it's really looking more and more unlikely that they're going to have DLC for A Wonderful Life, so I can only put this title in B tier. And the last game on our list is Stardew Valley, and this game, it's very, very easy to put it straight into the S tier category. This game has really fun mechanics, there's lots of customization, you can play the game many, many, many times and marry different villagers, you can have different farm setups, you can just take different paths, there's a Joja path, and there's also a community center path. So yeah, this game is really exciting because every day you never know what exciting thing you're going to stumble upon. Stardew Valley is really good because each character feels really unique. They all have their own different personalities and their different looks, and they all have really unique, interesting backstories. For Stardew Valley, the only bad thing I can say about the game actually has nothing to do with the game itself, and that is that I don't like people who compare every farming sim to Stardew Valley. I think that Stardew Valley is a great game, and I absolutely love it, and I've played through it many, many, many times. However, I think that Stardew Valley is Stardew Valley, and other games can be other games. I love that Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos is an open world that's also a farming sim. I love that Harvestella is a AAA JRPG that's also a farming sim. And I love that Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life makes that up by focusing on the family. For me personally, I think if I were to play any farming game for too long, I would eventually get bored of it. So I love that we're living in an era where there's lots of great farming sims that are all trying different things. For me personally, all the titles that are C tier or above, I at least had some fun with them, so if you like farming sims, then you could definitely check them out. The two titles that I put in D tier, they definitely had some things that got in the way of the fun for me personally. Yeah, so I personally would not recommend either of those titles. For the rest of the games, yeah, you could definitely try them out if you think that they sound interesting. Please let me know in the comments down below how would you rank these 12 titles. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.